Alright everyone, welcome back to Curses Minds. I'm Curses and I'm going to be talking today about things called redstone repeaters. They kind of look funny in your hand, but what they look like is kind of a rectangle. It's got a triangle-y type of pattern and a couple of sticks. It's made pretty easily with some stone and some redstone torches. And these can be used to boost the signal of a redstone wire. So say I wanted to wire up this door and to open using this lever. I obviously can't place it right next to the door, so I've got to use a wire. And let's not just use a wire that goes all the way around my whole castle. Problem is that the signal gets to around about here and stops, so it doesn't open the door. And so we need something to boost the signal. So I'm going to use some redstone repeaters. Just let me place them quickly. Okay, now we flip the switch, opens the door, close it, door closes. So, redstone repeaters effectively boost the signal from where my signal starts all the way around and back to the door, and you can open and close things from far away. Okay, let's look at the way that they work a little bit more closely. We've got our switch and our device. Our switch has redstone wired up to it, and as you can see it gets dimmer and dimmer, and eventually the last one is dark. It doesn't sparkle, it doesn't have any energy, so it can't make the piston run. This is the 15 block limit. So what are we going to do? Add a repeater, and voila, the piston is activated. Okay, what happens if I put the redstone repeater sideways? As you can see, it has a not very clearly defined direction. However, if you connect the repeater up sideways, it doesn't work. And if you connect it up backwards, you can see it kind of points backwards. It also doesn't work. It only works in one direction. This can be useful in certain ways, but it can be a bit annoying sometimes when you have to put it in a hard to reach place. Okay, so another feature of the redstone repeater is that you can actually modify the delay that the redstone repeater puts into the circuit. So if you notice, it takes a little bit longer for the piston to activate than it did before. Now, let me just set up a few redstone repeaters and we'll see if we can hear the difference. Okay, I've set up 5 redstone repeaters all in sequence, and if we turn on the switch, you can see that the signal propagates through slowly. If you turn it off, it turns off slowly as well. Now what's happening here is the redstone repeater, let's look at this one for example, with the 2 torches closest together, it adds 0.1 of a second of delay to the circuit. As each right click on the device adds another 0.1 of a second, up to a maximum of 0.4 seconds. So with these 5 all on the maximum, we've got 0.4, 0.8, 1.2, 1.6, 2 seconds delay. So when I flip the switch, it puts a 2-second delay in the circuit. And this can be very useful when doing things on a delay. So if you flip a switch and you want something to happen in 2 seconds, you put 5 redstone repeaters in the circuit. If you want it to happen in 4 seconds, you're going to have to put 10. If you want it in different denominations of those times, you need to fiddle with them. Anyway, that's quite a useful property. Now, let's go and look at another property of the redstone repeater. Here we've got 2 pistons. However, as we talked about before, the redstone signal doesn't go through this block even though this one's powered. It just kind of stops. And we can't power the second piston. So, with a redstone repeater, we can make the energy, make the signal transmit through. So we've got both pistons activated now, and the redstone repeater is kind of taking the signal from this block and pushing it through to the rest of the circuit. And you can do this on and on and on. It just keeps amplifying the signal. And I've got another example set up over here where we've got one piston at the top being powered by this kind of ladder of redstone, and it's activating. However, this kind of blocks the signal coming through by having that block above, and normally you'd have to wire it up kind of like that, or maybe even simpler like this, and that takes, well, it means you have to go 2 blocks to the side or 1 block to the side, and you might not have that much room. So what you can do is place a redstone repeater. You have to get it in the right direction, and that takes the powered block and transmits the power through, and so you've got both of them activated. Alright everyone, that is the end of my redstone repeater tutorial. Next episode I'm going to talk about the comparator, which is a bit more of a complicated circuit element, and we will think about some circuits that might need to use comparators or repeaters, and maybe do a demonstration of one later on. Thanks for watching.